चन्द्रमः सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Last class we have completed all the 50 Subhashitams. Now we will read this prose. This is the translation of Sangyana Suktam. Each one of you can read each line. So we started from Akshara Abhyasa, then started slowly reading words and then simple sentences, then Subhashitams in the form of that shloka, the verses. So now paragraph, prose. So, Akoshi, please read the first line.
Yes, Guruji. Janaha samaje samgataha gaccheyuhu.
That's all. That is the sentence. How do you know it's a sentence? The end of the sentence. That is known by the vertical stroke, danda. That is called danda, equal to full stop in English.
Yes, Guruji.
Asamaje sangataha gaccheyuhu. Right? Next person. Parulji.
Yes, sir. परस्परं विरोधं विहाय एकविधम् एव वचनं वदेयुः.
Good.
तेषां
not yuha.
वेदेयुः.
परस्परं विरोधं विहाय एकविधम् एव वचनं वदेयुः.
तेषां चित्ते.
Okay. Only one sentence.
Okay.
Akanksha, you can read the next one.
जी सर. तेषां चित्ते समभावना संभवतु.
Good. Next person, Umaji.
सर्वे एकमता तिष्ठेयुः.
Yes. Next person. Deepika ji.
जी. समाजे स्थितानां जनानां कार्याकार्य पर्यालोचनात्मकं गुप्त संभाषणम् एकरूपम् अस्तु.
Good. Next person, Yajnapriya ji.
Yes, ji. कार्येषु जनानां प्रवृत्तिः एकरूपा भवतु.
Good. Lakshmi.
प्रतिदिनं सर्वेषां कर्म अपि समानरूपं भवतुः.
Oh, it's by Bhavatu, not Bhavatu.
That,
Mistake. It's okay.
okay, भवतु.
Next person. Kirti.
समेषाम् अनन्तः करणं समानं भवेत्.
Read again.
समेषाम् अन्तः करणं समानं भवेत्.
Samanam. Antah Karanam. Antakharanam. You can read like that.
Antakharanam. Is it Antakharanam?
Antakharanam, yes.
Okay, Antakharanam.
Next person. Neelamji.
एवं सर्वे समाजिकाः भवन्तु.
Yes. Next person. Pratibhaji.
एवमेव संकल्पैः सर्वेषां हृदयानि इन्द्रियाणि च समानरूपाणि यथा भवेयुः तथा अस्माभिः प्रयत्नः करणीयः इति प्रार्थना.
जनाः समाजे संगताः गच्छेयुः. परस्परं विरोधं विहाय एकविधम् एव वचनं वदेयुः. तेषां चित्ते समभावना संभवतु. सर्वे एकमता तिष्ठेयुः. समाजे स्थितानां जनानां कार्याकार्यपर्यालोचनात्मकं गुप्तसम्भाषणम् एकरूपम् अस्तु. कार्येषु जनानां प्रवृत्तिः एकरूपा भवतु. प्रतिदिनं सर्वेषां कर्म अपि समानरूपं भवतु. समेषाम् अन्तःकरणं समानं भवेत्. एवं सर्वे सामाजिकाः भवन्तु. एवमेव संकल्पैः सर्वेषां हृदयानि इन्द्रियाणि च समानरूपाणि यथा भवेयुः तथा अस्माभिः प्रयत्नः करणीयः इति प्रार्थना. संज्ञानसूक्तस्य अर्थः एवम्. In Veda we have many suktam. One suktam is called Sangyana Suktam. We have Medha Suktam, Durga Suktam, Bhagya Suktam, Ayush Suktam, Hiranyagarbha Suktam, Bhu Suktam, Sri Suktam, Vishnu Suktam, Go Suktam. So many suktams are there. Suktam means prayer, prarthana. Vaidika prayer, Vaidika prarthana. All these suktams, the prayers, they are meant for gaining, chanting which we can gain certain ends. Meant for gaining certain ends. Like Medha Suktam, if you chant, get Medha Shakti. What is Medha? Grahana Dharana Shakti. That is called Medha. The power of reception and retention. What we hear and understand and we retain. The memory also. For memory power. So like that many suktams are there. One of the suktam is Sangyana Suktam. It is chanted by all the people so that there is a ekata, oneness. They work together for gaining the common ends. So in the community and all they chant. This is a very good suktam. So let our mind, our words, everything be in aligned with the common goals, so that all our activities also will be in keeping with the common goal. So all our antakharanam, our behavior, activities, So everything in keeping with the common goal, let us engage. Pravritti means engage. Let us engage in the activities for the common good. That is the meaning. Chanted mainly for unity in a community. Sangyana Suktam. This is the general meaning of the Suktam. Then the next one. The next person, each one of you again. This is a small story like thing. Next person can read. Bhavaniji, you can read.
Yes, Guruji. Amra
Amra Vrikshaha.
Vrikshaka.
Amra Vrikshaha.
Amra Vrikshaha. Can you hear me? I have some throat. Can you hear me, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Amra Vrikshaha. Kimidam Ayam Vrikshaha. Ko Nama Vrikshoyam Amra Vrikshoyam Kim Tvaya. You want me to continue, right? Amra Palam Aswaditam.
Yeah, you can read that line again.
Okay, which one? The same line?
Kim Tvaya.
Kim Tvaya. Okay. Kim Tvaya Amra Palam Aswadinam. Aswadinam.
Dinam. Where is Dinam?
Oh, Aswaditam. Sorry. Rich.
Again. The same line.
Aswaditam.
Read the line again.
Amrapalam Aswaditam. Aswaditam.
Aswaditam. You have to read fluently. Aswaditam.
Aswaditam.
Kimidam. Ayam Vrikshaha. Ko Nama Vrikshoyam. Amra Vrikshoyam. Kim Tvaya Amra Palam Aswaditam. Next person. A question.
Evam Tani Evam. Evam.
Long bubble. You have to say, not evam. Evam.
Evam Tani tu Swaduni Bhavanti Amre Kathinam Bijam Bhavati Yada Vaya Tad Vijam
Read again. Read again from the beginning.
Yada Vayam Tad Bijam Vapamaha Tataha Eko Laguhu Ankuraha Paro Hati.
Again. The last word.
Prarohati.
Prarohati.
Yes, Guruji.
Tani tu swadoni bhavanti. Amre kathinam bijam bhavati. Yada vayam tad bijam vapamaha tataha eko laguhu ankuraha prarohati. Next person, Parulji.
Yes, sir. Saha evam kalena महान वृक्षः जायते महत् तस्य सुवृक्षस्य शीतलछायाम् आश्रयन्ते जनः.
Very good.
आम्रः
Okay.
वसन्ते.
स एव कालेन महान् वृक्षः जायते, महतः तस्य सुवृक्षस्य शीतलच्छायां
छायाम् आश्रयन्ते जनाः. आम्रः वसन्ते फुलति.
Yes. आम्रः वसन्ते फुल्लति धारयति च नवानि पल्लवानि. तदैव तत्र मनोहरः पिकः आगत्य मधुरं कूजति चूषति च रसाल मंजीरम. Should I read it, Guruji?
It's okay, up to that. Okay, next. Now, आम्रः वसन्ते पुल्लति धारयति च नवानि पल्लवानि. तदैव तत्र मनोहरः पिकः आगत्य मधुरं कूजति चूषति च रसालमञ्जीरम्. The next person, Umaji.
Yes, Guruji. अन्ये अपि भक्षिणः
Again?
तदा तत्र कलरवं कुर्वन्ति.
No, read again the sentence.
अन्ये अपि भक्षिणः.
What is it? Yes.
भक्षिणः.
Not clear.
पक्षिणः.
पक्षिणः, okay.
तदा तत्र कलरवं कुर्वन्ति.
Okay.
ततः सः वृक्षः फलति.
Okay. You can read the Subhashitam.
सेवितव्यो महावृक्षः फलच्छाया समन्वितः. यदि दैवात् फलं नास्ति छाया केन निवार्यते.
अन्येपि पक्षिणः तदा तत्र कलरवं कुर्वन्ति ततः सः वृक्षः फलति. सेवितव्यो महावृक्षः फलच्छाया समन्वितः. यदि दैवात् फलं नास्ति छाया केन निवार्यते. So vriksha, this prose gives a description about vriksha. What vriksha? Amra vriksha, mango tree. Simple vakyas. The meaning is very simple. I'm just telling you the gist of this prose. You need to learn Sanskritam to read the sentence. Anyway, now whatever you read, it is okay. When you know the language, then you will read properly. You know where to pause, how to connect the words. Further, we need to know the language. We are going to see, we'll slowly get into the language. We have come to the end of this, level 1. So this prose talks about the vriksha. What is that vriksha? This vriksha is called Amra vriksha. The palam, the fruit, mango tree, the mango fruit is very tasty. And it has got a very hard seed in that. If you sow that seed, then you will, then a small sprout will come. That will grow in time into a vriksha. And people, they they rest under the shade of this huge mango tree, well-grown mango tree. Ambrapalam, Ambra Vriksha, Vasantakala, in spring, it gives flowers and bears the Navani Pallavani. So Pallavani is that, what do you say? Not the fruit, before becoming a fruit. What is that in English? It's called unripe. The baby fruits.
Unripe.
Pallavani. Then there, all the pikaha, the cuckoos, they come, they kujati, they coo very sweetly, and they suck the rasala manjiram, the juice of the mango tree. Other pakshis also, they come and they make beautiful noise there. So this is a description of the mango tree. So Sevitavyo Mahavrikshaha Palachaya Samanvitaha. The mango tree which is endowed with phala, the fruit, and also not only the fruit is a benefit, also chaya. Chaya is shade. Phalam you will get only in spring. Other season it gives shade. So phalam it bears fruits only in season, but shade is all the time. It is there for the tree. It is available. So this is the greatness of the Ambra Vriksha. Then the next one. Next person, Deepika ji.
जी गुरुजी। सुसंततिः आसीत् ब्रह्मस्थलं नामपुरं तत्र yeah, can you hear me Guruji?
Yes, you can hear.
Yes. तत्र बहवः विद्वांसो ब्राह्मणाः अवसन् तेषाम् आश्रये कचिद्दिना विधवा ब्राह्मणी अभवत्.
Okay, next person, Yajnapriya ji.
Jimmy ji.
Yeah.
Tasyaha matrubhavataha.
No, read again.
Tasyaha matrubhaktaha.
Bhaktaha, why bhaktaha? Bhaktaha.
Bhaktaha.
Okay, continue.
Somyakshascha.
No. Read again.
Saumyakshascha.
No. Saumyascha only, not Saumyaschascha.
Yes, ji, sorry. Saumyascha panchaputraha asan. Te panchapi haridat sharmanaha.
Read again.
Haridatta sharmanaha. Haridatta sharmanaha. Ji?
Haridatta sharmanaha.
Oh, sorry, ji. Haridatta sharmanaha. Upadhyayat.
No, read properly.
Upadhyayat.
No, it's not Upadhyayat. You're missing something.
Upadhyayat. Upadhyayat.
Upadhyayat, not Upadhyayat.
Upadhyayat shatrani apatan.
Upadhyayat, if you remove that upa is dirgha, you make it upa, meaning will change.
Yes, ji.
It doesn't change.
Upadhyayat.
Upadhyaya to read. When you read individually, you say upa, but with together it becomes upa.
Yes.
Not upa.
Upadhyayat. Shatrani.
Upadhyaya. It's a teacher. Okay, next person.
Yes, ji.
Tasyaha matrabhaktaha saumyascha panchaputraha asan. Te panchapi Haridatta Sharmanaha Upadhyayat Shastrani Patan. After some time, you have to read like that. Next person, Subbalakshmi.
एकता कोऽपि दयालु तपस्विनीं तां ब्रह्माणीं दृष्ट्वा दयमानः.
Stop there. Read again. Mistakes are there from the beginning.
एकता कोऽपि.
Again, what is it?
एकदा.
Okay. Ekada. It is da.
एकदा कोऽपि दयालु तपस्विनीं.
Again, what is it?
तपस्विनीं तां ब्रह्माणीं दृष्ट्वा.
Brahmanim. Just read that word again. Is it Brahmanim?
Brahmanim.
Brahmanim it is.
Brahmanim drishtva dayamanaka. Upachat. Apruchat. Brahmanim te daridra.
Apruchat. No, read it clearly. It should be very clear when you read. When I hear you, I should understand the meaning of the Apruchat.
Apruchat. Brahmanim te daridram.
No, not daridra. Read again.
Daridrayam.
No.
Daridrayam.
Okay.
Daridryam.
What is the last letter of the word?
Ya and yakara and yim.
There is no yim. We don't say yim. What is it? Not yakara plus. What is yim? What is that yim? That anybody? What is that last letter?
Yam.
Daridryam. The plus ra plus ra.
Refa.
No. I don't want bits and pieces. I want the last letter, the content of the last letter. What is?
The plus
Dakara.
refa.
Yeah.
Dakara.
Dakara.
Yakara plus.
No.
Dakara plus refa plus
Very
yam.
good. Yes. Dakara plus repa plus yakara plus
Yes.
It's a conjunct consonant. Dakara is there. You have to see dakara at the top. Then repa, the stroke is there. At the bottom, that yakara is there, followed by Daridhyam. So it's a conjunct. It is not Daridrayam. That is also wrong. It is Daridhyam. Can you recognize the conjunct consonant? Yes, Subbalakshmi.
Yes, Guruji. Daridryam vilokya me hrudayam brusham druyate yat sucharitra bhavati. Dana bhave.
No.
Dana
Not
bhave.
dhana. There is no dhana. You are making a short vowel to a long vowel and long vowel to a short vowel.
Dana bhavena.
Dana bhavena. You understand the mistake?
Yes, Guruji. Dana bhavena kashtam sakate iti.
There, fine. Ekada, listen. Ekada kopi dayalu tapas. Kopi dayalu.
Tapasani.
Tam brahmani drishtva dayamanaha aprachat. Not tapasvinim. It must be tapasvini. It should be tapasvinim tam. Kopi dayalu. Maybe dayalu only. Tapasvinim. Okay. Aprachat. Ekada kopi dayalu tapasvinim tam brahmanim drishtva dayamanaha aprachat. ब्राह्मणी ते दारिद्र्यं विलोक्य मे हृदयं दृशं दूयते यत् सुचरित्रा भवति धनाभावेन कष्टं सहते इति. Next person, Kirtiji.
श्रुत्वा सा उत्तरम् अददात्. भद्र स्वास्ति ते अस्तु. स्वस्ति ते अस्तु. एत्वं दरिद्रायां मयि करुणायसे किन्तु भवान् यथा कथयति नास्मि नादृशि निर्धना.
Not nadrishi.
I'm sorry, तादृशी निर्धना.
Read again.
Full sentence, Guruji.
Yes,
from
yes.
Etvam. Okay. Etvam daриद्रायां मयि करुणायसे किन्तु भवान् यथा कथयति नास्मि तादृशी निर्धना.
दरिद्रायां मयि करुणायसे किन्तु भवान् यथा कथयति नास्मि तादृशी निर्धना. Okay, continue.
Okay. यतः मे अमूल्यानि पञ्चरत्नानि सन्ति. अहः सत्यं ब्राह्मणी क्ते.
Brahmani. Then next, what is the next one?
Is that do you stress that or is it
You have to find out what are the letters in that.
And sorry, kakara plus va.
Yes. Then what is that?
Kwa.
Kwa. Yes.
Kwa
te. Where? Kwa. Where? In English. Where is that? She's saying they have got 5 ratnas. 5 in that highly valuable 5 are that with me. Then he is asking, who is that?
Oh. Okay.
That person who came there. Yeah.
Kvate tani ratnani ityuktva tani ityuktva tani darshaya iti prarthayat.
Next person, Neelamji. Ahaha, satyam brahmani. Kvate tani ratnani iti yuktva tani darshaya iti prarthayatha. Okay.
तावदेव गुरुगृहात् गृहात्
not guru. See, guru is okay. It is not guhat. Grihat.
Okay.
Not ukara.
Guru grahat tasyaha panchapi putraha agatya matuhu charanau avandanta abravit chasa sadho pashya panchapi mama रत्नानि ततः तान् अवलोक्य सः Atushyata.
Okay, up to that, fine. तावदेव गुरुगृहात् तस्याः पञ्चापि पुत्राः आगत्य मातुः चरणौ अवन्दन्त अब्रवीत् च सा साधो पश्य पञ्चापि मम रत्नानि ततः तान् अवलोक्य सः अतुष्यत्. राजेश्वरी जी.
Me?
Yes, read.
Nisandeham.
Nissandeham.
Nisandeham. Susantatihi. सर्वरत्नेभ्यः उत्तमा. वरमेको गुणी पुत्रो न च मूर्खशतान्यपि एकचन्द्रस्तमो हन्ति न च तारागणा अपि.
Very good, Subhashitam. Nissandeham susantatihi sarvaratnebhyah uttama. Susantatihi means santati is the lineage. The children are called santati. Su means good. So good children. Susantatihi sarvaratnebhyah uttama. So one poor woman, Brahmani, was there. So she had 5 children. Even though she was poor, but she was happy, and she underwent all the sufferings without any difficulty. I mean, without any. She endured all the difficulties. But once Dayalu came and wanted Daya Tapasvi Prichat, one Dayalu, one generous person came. Then there was a conversation between them. Okay, then I could not. 1 minute. I don't see that. Okay. Then he says, by seeing your dukkam, my heart is really troubled, and you are enduring this poverty. And then she says, I have got 5 expensive ratnas. I may not have money, but I got 5 expensive ratnas. What are they? She had 5 children. Those children are very, very good children. So she was telling that the children are the gems, invaluable gems, highly valuable gems. She has more than money. Since they are of good character, therefore, she's at the end, this prose concludes saying that Sarva Ratnebhyaha, compared to all the Ratnas, all the Ratna means gems. Susantatihi, the good children, they are Uttama, they are the greatest. There is no doubt that more than money, what is valuable is the Santati, good children, good lineage. Then Subhashitam, Varameko Guni Putra. Better to have one putra, one son, rather than having Murka Shatanyapi. Murka Shata is 100. Rather than having 100 children who are Murka, foolish children. Better to have one child rather than having 100 children. Eka Chandraha Tamohanti. One Chandra. Chandra is moon. Moon is only one. It removes the darkness. Only one moon in the sky removes the darkness. Nacha Tara Gana Api. Not the group of stars. Stars are innumerable. Tara Gana. Gana is a group. They do not remove the tamas, that is the darkness. Only one moon in the sky removes the darkness. Therefore, similarly, instead of having 100 foolish children, better to have one child who is endowed with the guna, the character, the qualities. So that is the meaning of the Subhashitam. The gist of this paragraph is that I'm not explaining line by line because it is not required. Line by line I have to explain means then we should know what is Kriya Padam, what is the noun, and what are the connection and all I have to say. I'm just avoiding that. Just gist of the text. We are interested only in reading. Okay. Then up to this, we have seen the reading of the words and sentences. Now, I think this part already I have told you, but still, I just want to say something in this. Can you see the word file that I'm sharing? You can see the screen.
Yes,
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, Ji.
Okay. Now, just explaining this, please listen. The word tat is a word. It can be split into akara plus a. Akara plus a is ta, and the last letter is takara. So when I ask you what is the last letter, you have to say takara. Similarly, gajaha if you take. Gajaha, the first letter is ga. So takara plus akara. Then jakara plus aha. Last letter is visarga. Akara plus visarga. Visarga cannot be pronounced independently. So it is always come with the vowel and take the sound of the vowel. Similarly, nanaha, nakara plus akara, depa plus aha, jayaha, jakara plus a, and yakara plus aha. Right? Okay, all these words are there. Gunaha, tataha, yataha, all these words. You have to split and see what is the last letter. Last letter is important. Why it is important? We are going to see that. Balaha, if you take Bakara plus A is Bala, Bakara plus A is Ba, then Lakara plus Aha, Balaha. Gauri, here the last letter is Ihi, not Iha. Okay. So if you read Iha, that is wrong. Ihi. The God should take the sound of the vowel. Similarly, Uchaihi, Aihi. So Aihi. Shantihi, Ihi. And in this word, palam, if you take palam, akara plus a, then lakara plus a, that is la, the last letter is makara. So the last letter is makara. Remember that. Kanam, the last letter is makara. Vargaha, the last letter is aha. Similarly, in other words, mashakaha, vajraha, brukshaha, stenaha, ayasaha, all these words. And just you see, but do the Varna Vicheda and see the letters. Okay. That is the exercise given. I think we have seen all these things. It is going to be helpful for the topic what we are going to see. It will be helpful for you to read also. Janakaha. I'm saying Ja. Ja is Jakara plus A, remember. So when I ask you what is the last letter of the first, last letter of the Ja. Ja is not a one letter. Ja is combination of the consonant and the vowel. So Ja is Jakara plus A. Ja. And Na is Nakara plus A. And Kaha is Kakara plus Aha. Either you can write like this or split the letter into the vowels and the consonants and vowels and write. Okay. Now, all these things we have read. Is done. Okay, I'll start the language, give the introduction to the language. So up to that, whatever you have seen, I assume you are familiar with the script. You can read fluently. Fluency in reading is important. Please note that fluency in reading is important. We have done enough practice up to 20, 25 classes. Now we are going to see the language. And you go to this book, which book what you see in the screen. That book already I sent. Go to the book and read all the words. And in the book itself, you will find at the end there are some words and the meanings. You need to be familiar with the meanings of the words. You see here, the list of words are given. Shabdaha, more words for reading practice. You please read in your leisure. You can take it as a homework and read. Can you see the file? Or can you see the screen? Nouns, masculine, gender. Can you all see?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, Guruji.
Number 10, Shabdaha, more words for reading practice. So, here you can see the list of words which are masculine gender. The words are masculine words, masculine gender words. The words and the meanings you need to know. Just read. Slowly you need to develop the vocabulary. Ajaha means goat. Ajagaha, snake. Ashvaha, horse. Okay, we'll be using these words later for our translation work. Then feminine gender words. Amba is mother. You need to know the meaning. Okay, Anuja, sister. Younger sister, that is there. Aggaja, elder sister. Apaga, river. Agni Petika. Petika is box. Agni is fire. Firebox, that is matchbox. Avakarika, dustbin. All these are Strilinga. Dustbin is Strilinga. Just see, I told you before, the gender, I think I have told you, maybe I'll tell you later. Gender of a word in Sanskritam doesn't depend on its meaning. It has nothing to do with meaning. The gender of a word is independent of the meaning of the word. Therefore, how do you determine the gender? The word as gender. In Sanskritam, the word as gender. You have to refer the dictionary to find out the meaning as well as the gender. In English, what we do to find out the meaning, you refer the dictionary. In English, we don't have problem of the masculine, feminine. We know when we say vriksha, a tree. Tree is what gender in English? Tree is neuter gender.
Neuter.
Husband, what gender is that? Masculine gender. Wife, feminine gender. But in Sanskritam, it is not like that. In Sanskritam, the gender of a word doesn't depend on its meaning. Wife, the word is there in Sanskritam. Many words are there. Bharya, Patni. Bharya, Patni, these are Strilinga words. Strilinga Shabda, feminine gender words for wife. We have neuter gender word also for wife. Kalatram is neuter gender. Kalatram means wife. But what is the gender of the word? Neuter gender. So there is no connection between the gender of the word and the meaning of the word. That you need to understand. In Sanskritam, it is like that. Therefore, checking the dictionary for two purposes. One is for knowing the word, other one for knowing the gender. Okay. So that is why I given separately all these feminine gender words. This you can go through. When you go through, you will see the difference between the masculine and the feminine gender words. Similarly, neutral gender words. Asanam, seat. neutral gender. Amrapalam, just now we saw, that is mango, neutral gender. Vrikshaha, it is not here. What is the gender of the word vrikshaha? It is pullinga. It is masculine gender. Mango is napumsakalinga. Vriksha is pullinga. This knowledge of the gender will come only when you are familiar with the language. Along with the language, slowly the familiarity with the gender will come. For that we need to read a lot. Okay. So with this this book, level 1 book, whatever we have seen so far, and some more things are there, I think you can read on your own. Letters, the characters of Mahabharata, and all this for reading practice. So I don't want to continue especially reading practice for some more class. If you want, we can do maybe later. But you have to tell me whether if you really want to do, or if you yourself can read, it is good. If you have problem with some words, certain words, you can let me know next class. You can read in the class. I can tell you. So the important characters of Mahabharata, all those things are there, which you can just read. Okay, now today, as I told, I will introduce the language. Please pay attention. We are getting into the language. The basic components of a sentence. A sentence is called Vakyam in Sanskritam. Vakya. That is what we read. Vakya Abhyasa, reading practice of sentences. Shabda is word. Varna is letter. Varna is letter. Group of Varna is called a word, a Shabda. And a collection of words is called a Vakya, a sentence. And in a sentence, two important things are there in any language. One is the verb, other one is the noun. The noun and the verb, they are the basic components which make a sentence. There is no sentence without a verb. There is no sentence without a verb. But in Sanskritam, you will see sentences without verb. It doesn't mean verb is not there. The verb is there, you have to supply. If it is not there, you have to understand it is there. That we will see. We are going to see. Okay, so the verb and the noun. These are the two important components. Now let us take a simple sentence. Rama reads. The verb is reads. The action is reading action. Who is doing that? Rama. Rama is a masculine gender word. Rama is a masculine gender word. He is a subject of the sentence, and the action of the subject is reading. So Rama does the reading action. So reading is the verb, and noun is Rama. Now, the noun and the verbs we will see. In Sanskritam, remember, nouns are called Namapadam. You need to be familiar with all these technical as well as general words. Remember in the level 1, that is when we learned the Varna, at that time I gave some technical words. Swaraha, Vyanjanani, Sanyukta Swaraha, Samana Swaraha, Mishrita Swaraha, all those things, Rasvaha, Dirgaha, Mridu Vyanjanani, Kator Vyanjanani, all those words which you need to remember. Similarly, here also many technical terms are there which you need to remember, because I'll be using that for communication, for teaching. I'll be using that. Therefore, you need to be familiar. The nouns are called Namapadam. So if I say Namapadam, understand noun. The verbs are called Kriyapadam. So Padam means word, and if it indicates a noun, it is called a Namapadam. If it indicates a Kriya, the action, then it is called Kriyapadam. Okay, in the simple, in the prose, what we read now, there are some examples I can show you. The prose, what we saw just now. Simple example. Amravrukshaha. So the last sentence of this paragraph. Ataha saha vrukshaha palati. So palati is the kriyapadam. Palati. And the karta, the subject is vrukshaha. Vrukshaha palati. Vrukshaha palati. So palati, the kriyapadam, the verb. Palati means gives fruits. Who gives fruits? Gives fruits means bear fruits. Palati. Kaha vrikshaha. So vrikshaha is the noun. Palati is the kriyapadam. So kriyapadam, first you have to see in the sentence, first you have to find out the kriyapadam. Remember, in the first class itself, I am saying, in a sentence, to understand a sentence, first you have to look for the kriyapadam. The analysis of the sentence starts with the kriyapadam. Remember, always. And this I'll keep on saying, because to understand the meaning of a sentence, we need to do analysis. We need to analyze the sentence. Analysis of the sentence. And the analysis starts with the identification of the kriyapadam. Therefore, kriyapadam is very important. Now, nouns are called namapadam, verbs are called kriyapadam. How are they derived? Noun forms and verbal forms. The noun forms are derived from noun bases. So, noun base is there. From noun base, a noun form is derived. Similarly, from the verbal roots, verbal forms are derived. In English also, it is like that only. For example, go is there. From go, we can derive so many verbal forms. Going, gone, underwent, undergone. All those are derivable from the verbal root go. So go is the root. Similarly, Sanskritam, we have verbal roots. We have about 2,200 verbal roots are there. Remember, 2,000, more than 2,000 verbal roots are there. Verbal roots means the root indicating action. From those verbal roots, the verbal forms are derived. Verbal forms are derived. So, need to know from verbal root, verbal forms, from noun base, noun forms are derived. What is the technical name for noun base and verbal roots? We're going to see now. Noun form and verbal form already I told. What is the name for noun form?
Namapadam.
Namapadam.
Very good. And for verbal form?
Kriyapadam.
Now, they are derived from noun base and verbal roots, respectively. Now, what is the name for noun base? You can see. The noun base is called Shabdaha. The noun base is called Shabda. So, from Shabda, Namapadam is derived. The verbal root is called Dhatuhu. Verbal root is called Dhatuhu. From Dhatu, verbal forms are derived. So, now we are going to deal with Shabdas first. Verbal base we need to know, then verbal forms. Now we need to know noun base and then noun forms. First we are going to deal with nouns only. Verbal roots and verbal forms later. That is not going to be covered in the next level of study. We are going to focus on nouns first and then only get into verbs. So we are going to among the nouns also we are going to get the knowledge of Shabda, that is noun base. First, we need to understand noun base and then noun forms. And the technical name for noun base is Shabda. So I use the word Shabda. You understand, it means noun base. We need to distinguish by calling these as noun base or noun forms. Because if I use the word noun, then it will be confusing. Common name, common word noun if I use. What does it mean? Shabda or it is a Namapadam? That question will come. That is why instead of using the word for the word, I'm using the word noun base for Shabda. Noun form for the Namapadam. See, Padam means word. Shabda also means word, but they are not same. In Sanskritam, it is not same. English translation of the word, please listen carefully. English translation of the word Shabda is word. English translation of the word Padam is word. But I don't want to use a word because that will be confusing. What I'm referring to, Shabda or Padam, that question will come. Therefore, I use the word noun base for Shabda, noun form for Padam. Padam is a technical word. In the language, in spoken or reading or writing language, we can use only the noun forms. We cannot use the noun base because noun base is unrefined. It is a crude noun form. A crude noun base cannot be used. You have to refine it. You have to refine it and use it. The refining is done by adding some suffixes to the noun base. Adding some suffixes to the noun base, you get a noun form. Adding a suffix to noun base, you get a noun form, that is Padam, and Padam only can be used in the language. So whatever you read now in the prose, whatever the prose you read, all the nouns are noun forms. Noun base cannot be used. Noun base is the crude form. It is the root form of the noun. From that, the noun forms are derived by adding suffixes. So we need to know first noun base, then only noun forms. Understand up to this? Is it clear?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, Ji. Yes, Ji.
Yes.
Become more and more clear if it is not clear. Now, introduction to noun bases and noun forms. Like in other languages, we have 3 genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. The genders are applicable for the verb or for the noun. It is applicable for the nouns only because the verb doesn't have gender. The verb, maybe in Indian languages, in Tamil, we can distinguish the gender based on the verb. Sorry, based on the verb. The verb indicates what gender is, but not in English. So we are learning through English. Therefore, with reference to English, I'm saying, with the verb, we cannot identify the gender of the subject of the sentence. Eat is there. Who is eating? If Rama eats, it is eat only. If Rama eats also, it is eat only. So by the Kriya Padam, by the verb, you cannot understand the gender of the subject in the sentence. Right? So when we say gender means, gender for what? Gender for only the noun base. Right? So the gender is only for the noun base, not for the verb. Verb doesn't have gender. Understand? So we have 3 genders, like in other languages: masculine, feminine, neuter. And the word for masculine is pullingaha, otherwise called pumlingaha. Pumlingaha, pullingaha, both are same. In sometimes I use pumlingaha. In Shabda Manjari and all, you will see pumlingaha, both are same. Pumlinga or pullinga. Then feminine gender is called strilingaha. Stri means feminine. Pum is purusha, masculine. And neuter gender is napumsakalingaha. Otherwise called Kleba. Kleba Lingaha. Kleba is Napumsakalingaha. So masculine, feminine, and neuter. Remember, neuter doesn't mean that the objects which are referred to by the words are inert. Generally, that is the base by which we classify a noun into masculine, feminine, or neuter. When you say a mountain is a jada vastu, inert. So, therefore, we say mountain is neuter. Similarly, vriksha is not jada, but still in English, we say tree is a neuter gender. A stone is neuter gender. A pen is neuter gender. But in Sanskritam, it is not like that. Pen is a feminine word. Parvata is a masculine gender word. Vriksha is a masculine gender word. Stone is a feminine gender word. Nose is a feminine gender word. Even if a male has male nose or female nose is feminine. Similarly, kesha, the hair of a man or hair of a woman. The word kesha is masculine only. So now you understand the word as gender. Okay. So when I classify the words into masculine, feminine, and neuter, it means you understand it doesn't depend on the meaning of the word. The words have gender. That's all. Like other languages, we have 3 genders: Linga, Strilinga, Napumsakalingaha. As I told, how to know the gender? Refer dictionary. That is another use of referring the dictionary. Not only for the meaning, also for the gender. M means masculine, F feminine, N neuter. If you refer dictionary, they will give like that. M for masculine gender, F for feminine, N for neuter. Okay. Is it clear up to now? This.
Yes,
Yes.
Guruji.
Yes, Guruji.
So you need to know the technical terms. Shabda, Namapadam. Dhatuhu, Kriyapadam. And 3 genders were introduced. Then further, we are going to study. That we will see. We'll continue that in the next class. Slowly, we are going to get into the language. So you have to be ready for it and keep doing your reading practice. Don't give up. Take any text, Gita or whatever it may be, please keep reading it. Gita can be chanted if you can set that the Gita shloka into the meter like Spashitam what we chanted, it is good. Otherwise, just read. Don't give up the reading practice. Reading is important. Reading requires the knowledge of the letters. So all these is conjunct consonants and those things you have to be very familiar. Okay. So based on the assumption, we are now well qualified to read the words fluently. We are getting into the language. Okay. So we'll stop here. We'll see next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.